But I can see in your eyes that that's not the case with at least how you think.
So he can look into my eyes and he can tell how I think. He has the ability to look in my eye and tell. Can you tell what I'm thinking right now? No.
I can tell. I can see behind that mask that you put on every time you get on your channel.
Dead puppies. Dead puppies.
Speak.
Puppies.
And alright, Geerup. First of all, this video is officially a flame video. I've been having a bad week, a shitty week. I know for a fact that I'm going to be having a shitty week next week. And you are officially my bitch for the moment. Normally, if I was feeling more intellectual, I'd go after someone a bit smarter. Someone who's a bit more of a challenge. Someone perhaps with more of a theological bent than someone who just goes around telling people how much they need Jesus. But you're someone I consider to be around just for screwing with. You're one of YouTube's patsies, one of YouTube's whipping boys. Intellectual prostitutes.
6 minutes and 7 seconds of an accumulative insult. Just one huge, heaping, steaming pile of insult. That's why I ignored it. And but he insists on pestering me, so I'm going to address this guy.
In the sense that you use them for your own benefit and for your own pleasure in ridiculing them, and you don't take them seriously because you don't need to. They don't deserve it.
Okay. First off, do you understand the problematic position that a lot of atheists take here on YouTube? So you hurt people for enjoyment, and that's what you atheists generally like to do.
And that's how I view you. Now, you have a very simple personality, and a very predictable one. You prop yourself up in front of a webcam, and you put on that face, and you speak, and I don't even need to hear the words coming out of your mouth. I don't even need to understand your arguments, don't get me wrong.
Okay. I think he caught himself there. The blatant illogic of his statement. He doesn't need to hear my words. He doesn't need to understand what I'm saying because he knows me so well. It's assumptions and false accusations. This guy has a bent about me and who I am. He sees me as a one-dimensional character without feeling, without emotion, a fake and a fraud. I believe me. If I were a fake or a fraud, I would cease my interactions with atheists on YouTube, because this is typical of what I get in the private messages and what I get in the public messages. I seriously believe in what I'm doing. I believe that there's a reason for it. I believe that there's purpose and meaning in life. And I believe that human beings should be treated with dignity. And as much as this guy, a minute and 38 seconds into this video, as much as he's insulting me, I still think that even he should be treated with dignity.
I fully understand what you're saying, but I don't need to. Because I could just see in your face, I can see by the way that you just look at the camera, exactly what you mean. And you could put on those puppy dog eyes and beg and plead and tell everyone how they need Christ, but it doesn't affect me, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect the person you're speaking to.
It's a mark of a hardened heart. I understand that appeals to emotion only go so far, but we are emotional beings, and there's nothing wrong with human emotions. You shouldn't base all your decisions on emotions, but we are human beings that display human emotions. Human emotions are natural. And if someone were to tell you their testimony of how God changed their life and they happen to cry in the process of doing so, this does not mean that they're inferior or that they're lying. Frankly, it's a tragedy that so many young people now believe that if someone shows a form of emotion while expressing their feelings about God, about the purpose that we believe as Christians we have in this world, that this is somehow twisted into a negative, twisted into some kind of weird, perverted rendition of a manipulative act. It's a mark of the times, truly.
I can tell that you genuinely feel better and prouder than other people. You genuinely feel that you have more of an entitlement, almost a birthright, to your salvation.
Okay, now he's concerned about salvation. This is an atheist concerned about salvation. He says that I have a birthright to salvation and an entitlement to salvation. No, emphatically, absolutely not. I do not think that I have a birthright to salvation. I have not earned salvation. That's the whole point of salvation. Atheists, it's a gift. It's freely given to you. If I gave you a gift, right, and you receive that gift, the gift is yours. You freely receive a gift that I mail off to you. And God, He's giving you an opportunity for salvation. If you reject that, that is the only door. If you reject going through the only door into the entrance of heaven, then there's no other way for you. There's no other choice for you. You see, it's not a birthright, it's a gift. It's a free gift of God-given grace. It's something I have not earned, it's something that has been given to me and that I've received. And that is the message to this atheist and to all atheists and all agnostics and all unbelievers and all people of all different stripes and sizes and shapes. You can be forgiven and you can be with God for all eternity if you accept His gift.
So please, just, if you have to do one thing, if you're going to keep doing this, I'd like to encourage you to at least be open about it. And at least say, even if you stay Christian and you do everything like that, I would at least have you admit your sins to the world. I just would be delighted in just hearing, I am guilty of the sin of pride. I am guilty of the sin in which I...
Okay, an atheist wants me to admit I'm a sinner. Atheists, are you now acknowledging that there's such a thing as sin? And if so, what shall we do about sin? How about sin that is against God? When we sin against one another, and God takes personal offense to that sin against one another, there's a requirement to do something about this sin. When sin is pressing down on you, shouldn't we be provided a way of escape? A way to rid ourselves of this sin? So, I understand you correctly. You're saying that sin exists and you want me to publicly admit I'm a sinner. Okay. I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner, and this is a prerequisite to becoming a saved man of God. You have to first admit your need, and then God can do something about it. If you have no need, if you're completely healthy and wealthy and wise, then you don't need God's gift of mercy. Because you got it all. You're perfect. But I admit I'm not perfect. I admit I'm a sinner, and I admit I need a covering for my sins. We are all sinners, every one of us. God says that we've all trespassed and sinned. There's none good, no, not one. And so God provides a way of escape. The message is simple, and yet it's so very difficult for the pride of man to humble himself and admit he's a sinner. I've done it. Can you?